Alexis Nunes alongside Mark Ogden in worse places we could be doing our digital hits, right, Augie? But let's talk about Sadio Mané, because recently we've heard some reports that are now linking him to a move to Bayern Munich. What are you hearing about this, and how likely could it happen?
Well, the situation with Mané is that, as with Mo Salah, he's got a year left on his contract at Liverpool, and no contract is yet on the table. So Bayern Munich are interested. They look like they're going to lose out on Robert Lewandowski, who wants to go to Barcelona. So it's one of those kind of situations where you've got to join the dots. Now, Mané to Bayern Munich, good move for Mané, and he has said this week that he will decide, or he will announce in his future after the Champions League final, which has left everybody thinking, is he going to say he's leaving? So nobody quite knows. People at Liverpool are still confused. So Mané's playing a guessing game, but Bayern Munich is obviously a great destination for Mané.
Is he someone that Bayern Munich, you would say, need now, especially with the likes of Robert Lewandowski potentially leaving?
Well, he's not a direct replacement for Lewandowski.
Exactly.
He'd have to change the way that they play at Bayern Munich. But Mané's a great player, scores lots of goals. He's crucial to the way Liverpool play with his high intensity, high tempo. But as I say, Lewandowski for Mané is a strange kind of switch. So maybe Nagelsmann's looking at a different way of playing. But I think initially Liverpool need to address the situation, because they could lose Mané and Salah in the next 12 months. They might keep both or let one go, and it's a massive decision they've got to make. They've got to find a way to resolve this situation.
Before we bring in the parallels of the Salah situation with the Mané situation, would this kind of spell the end for a certain Serge Gnabry, though, at Bayern Munich, then, if Mané does come in?
It could do, but big clubs want a lot of players, they want a lot of options. But obviously Serge Gnabry's been linked with a few clubs this summer. I think he's been linked with Man United recently as well. So a player that has Premier League experience, obviously not too positive when he was at Arsenal and West Brom, but still he's made up for that at Bayern Munich. But I don't think any big club can have too many attacking players. So I wouldn't say definitely it means the end for Serge Gnabry. I just think it could mean that Bayern have got a lot of attacking options.
And then now if we go back to the Salah and Mané parallels, I know you did, of course, bring out a couple of the permutations at what could happen to Mané. But for Salah now, what do you see happening? Because recently, of course, he said that he at least hinted that he will see out his contract this season. But you don't really see Liverpool being like a club to allow his contract to run down and then not make anything off of what is a great player.
It's a really difficult situation for Liverpool, because they've got a player who, probably their talisman player, the guy that scores the goals, 31 goals this season, but he's out of contract next year, and he said he's staying next year. So that basically says to Liverpool, you either give me a new contract, a massive new contract, or I'll go for nothing. So the Liverpool think, you're 29, you're approaching 30, and a lot of clubs don't like to give big contracts to players in the 30s. Probably, a strange move considering so many going to the mid-30s. But Liverpool might feel they have to try and sell Salah this summer, because it's the only way to get some money for him. And maybe Salah is playing a game to Liverpool to say, look, it's on you now. I mean, who knows? But football transfers these days are not as straightforward as they used to be. There's all sorts of games being played, and whether Salah's agent wants him to kind of add to the uncertainty a little bit. But Liverpool do have a problem, because he's the top player, the talisman player, but they might lose him for nothing next year. We've seen Lionel Messi leave Barcelona as a free agent. Kylian Mbappe went right to the end of his contract at PSG before staying when it looked like he was going to Real Madrid. Paul Pogba at Man United, out of contract, free agent. The big players now are happy to run their contracts down, and the clubs that employ them, that is the difficult scenario for them, because if they give Mo Salah a big contract, Sadio Mané will be knocking on the door for a big contract, and that is the problem. So maybe one has to go, but which one do you let go?
That's the question. Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.